Hello, this is Rist. I just want to go over a quick guide on Dual Mage for Divinity Original Sin, and some tips to help you decide as you're leveling what talents you should get, what talents you shouldn't get, skills, etc. So I just loaded up here in the middle of a fight, and as you might see in my hotbars, I actually have one hotbar devoted to every element, including I guess the Witchcraft. Basically, when you're going Dual Mage, you know, most of your damage is going to be fire, lightning, and then some Witchcraft. The other ones aren't as useful. Sometimes Ice falls second, and Earth is probably the least useful. So whenever you're building your mage, if we look here at the abilities under skills, you can find that you actually don't need that many points in Geomancy. The only thing I've really found useful from there is early on the Boulder Bash, maybe Poison Arrow for the few enemies that are immune to everything but poison, and then the Poison Shield. I think it's called Earth Shield. Yes, Earth Resistance Shield. It's always good to have the shield on all of your both of your mages. Also, I'm going Lone Wolf here, but you don't have to go Lone Wolf. I just find it helps with the hit points. It's better to have 2 characters still alive than 4 characters that die easily, in my opinion. And some of you may be thinking, should I get Leech? For mages, you don't really need Leech because their Fire Shield becomes so beefy between their hit points and their intelligence that you hardly will take any damage. And I say Fire Shield, but you can do any shield. I'm mainly going Fire Shield here so that I can just do fire damage notwithstanding having to worry about it. So let me go back and show you basically all the skills that you probably want to get and avoid. So I mentioned 2 points in the Geomancy. You can get 1 point in the Marksman. I do that just to get the extra jump for Tactical Retreat. Ether Mage, you don't really need to put 5 points in it. I just went ahead just because I had so many points. The biggest things from Ether Mage or Ethereal Thorge is just your basic lightning nukes, and the teleports, and then Tornado. Tornado lets you clear the battlefield. So we can see it here. I'm not going to use that yet, but sometimes you get smoke that gets in your way of like targeting stuff, or if you want to clear lava, Tornado can be used for that. The biggest advantages, other than using lightning for a lot of lightning only weak enemies, are also the Make Invisible. This will help you run by traps and statues and stuff like that. Another useful one. Remove Petrification, always good. Storm is crap. And mainly the teleports though, the teleportation and the feather drop, which I have here as well. Those let you essentially move yourself and enemies along the battlefield, and you basically use it to group up people for a also immune to electrified and all the shields, again air resist shield. So I'm just going to demonstrate. So here you can see that my other mage is going to go after this. So what I'm going to do, just kind of prep her for that. Actually, fortunately, I can't see that guy, but let's put him down here. Alright, so now that they're all grouped up, actually I have low pyrokinetics on this guy, but it'll be fine. Most of the damage centers around the middle, like the exact center, so I'm going to try to put the most of the middle bulk right there. You can see that's pretty much going to decimate anything that doesn't have protection from fire. I don't want to spoil it, but the final boss does not have any protection from fire. He has a little bit, but it's pretty much between some of your other spells, he'll be taking a lot of damage. So now that we have, let's see, a boss by himself and another minion, I can show you some of the other things. Ice does have a similar thing to the fire AE. So the spell I just used, Meteor Shower, very damaging, very good. Fire also has another spell where you draw lava. That is also very good. I do not have it on these characters at the moment. Fire generally just has a lot of useful high damaging explosions. Wildfire is also good. As you can see, I already have it on this character here. Like, it just gives you more and more action points, and it synergizes well with Glass Cannon. So here's all the action points that I have. I also have the talent where Elemental Affinity, where she's standing on the element, she gets lower action points. So if I go ahead and make everything burning, she's going to have reduced action points on all of her abilities. Another, so I sort of covered fire and lightning, and I guess earth, which is the crappiest. Here's the probably only spells. With 2 points, you can easily get Boulder Bash and the single target nuke, which I think is Poison Arrow, and you can get your Earth Shield. And that's all you really need from there. So other than that, I think we're going to be looking at the Witchcraft. There's a lot of abilities in Witchcraft. The main things that you want are going to be probably Oath of Desecration and Death Punch. And you could get Resurrect. In reality, you're going to have tons of scrolls anyway that you're probably not going to use. But really just Oath of Desecration, which is going to boost everyone's damage. Maybe Invulnerability. There's also the Elemental Shield, if you're taking a lot of different kinds of elemental damage at once. But even then, I don't find it to be that useful. Also, I did get for the one chance that you do need physical damage, which I think there are some poison mushrooms or something at one point, you can summon these skeletons or knights and arduously or just whack through them. You can also see here that I picked up some Man-at-Arms ability, Nullify Resistance. That's just going to help add to the damage. And Man-at-Arms, it does come with the heal early on that you can get. The Encourage, if you have just leftover points. Because this current build, I just have so many points every turn, there's no real reason to save points. Also have Inspire, Nullify. Phoenix Dive is good to getting into the enemy if you don't have the other marksman ability. So anyway, I have the boss here. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and Oath Desecrate myself. Show you just why Death Punch is so good. I'm gonna go ahead and try to nullify resistances. I don't have a lot of strength, so okay, it worked though. And here we go. Alright, so pretty much one-shot him. You probably won't be able to one-shot the boss with the Death Punch, but the big boss, but still pretty decent. Alright, now I want to go over real quick just the stats as I sort of mentioned, my current build. Here are my action points. Maximum 29. Definitely did pump some more into Constitution at the moment. But yeah, this is really important. You're going to be totally fine between your health and your other builds, or other points that you're going to put in here to go Glass Cannon. That's going to let you do so much damage, especially with Lone Wolf. I put 1 point to Perception, and then I max out Intelligence, and then put the rest into Constitution and Speed. And I did that for both characters. You could maybe dump some of the Strength just for Men-at-Arms, but you don't really have to. And you don't need to worry about armor and stuff, because you're going to get most of that from your traits, talents. Yeah, talents here. So basically what you're going to do is, when you're building or leveling your character, you don't need to go tall, you should go wide. So you probably want to put 2 points into everything so that both of your guys can be flexible. Even early on, you know, Geomancy has some tricks that'll help, like with oil. Midnight Oil is really good early on. and the summon is good. But you're gonna get Man-at-Arms, and that might seem a little weird at first, but if you look at the talents associated with Man-at-Arms, Weather the Storm, it's gonna give you a lot of magic resist. Picture of Health is gonna give you a lot of health, and I think there's even an armor, but you don't even need that. That plus the Lone Wolf that you need to start out because it's not retroactive, and then Glass Cannon. I mean, I'm sitting here with Glass Cannon at 3,000 hit points. The Fire Shield adds like another 3,000 hit points. You're not going anywhere. Also went ahead and got Far Out Man just because it's pain to, but that's not necessary. Elemental Fear Affinities, something that's just gravy. All skilled up, do not get that. This was I got that in retrospect. It's not that great. You can just, between the books that you can get at the Secrets and just leveling up with Lone Wolf, you're gonna find that you'd want talents more than that. If I had to switch it out, you could maybe go Bully. Maybe pick up some armor. I already have Pet Pal in the other character. You don't need Leech usually on this guy. You can just, I don't know it all. Let's see, is there anything else? Could get Thick Skin, but you really don't need it. Some people like Comeback Kid. So yeah, I mean, once you get Glass Cannon into your Man-at-Arms abilities, you're going to be pretty much fine. Alright, so that covers the talents and stats. Let's see, I did dump the rest of my points into bodybuilding and willpower, sorry. And personality, you kind of want to put some in leadership. Leadership is good to getting that initiation, because if you're just going to be setting up your haste and your shields first, if you can't blow them up on the first turn. So having that extra initiation is going to be pretty good. Now as far as Lore Master, you do want one guy with Lore Master, and that's mainly because I have it on the other character. That's so that you can see the resistance. Once you get 5 Lore Master, you can see the resistances of the enemies, and that is really useful in helping you figure out what you need to do without having to go through all the spells to figure out what they're weak against. And let's see, I think that is it. Some of the traits, you know, they're really not too important. Some of them are pretty self-explanatory. Willpower over anything else. Critical hit. I got one in leadership just for the extra initiative. Bold for extra initiative. Went ahead and tried to get all the immune. So blunt makes you immune to charm, immune to curse, immune to fear. That's always good. If you can pick up items that make you immune to stun, you definitely want to pick up those, especially if you're doing a lot of rain lightning combos. And finally, crafting. I didn't find crafting to be that useful. There's only one place in which I found it useful, and that was to save money on books for spells. You need level 5 crafting. If you have some rubies, you can chuck them into some good armor. And then finally, the 9-inch nails on your boots to give yourself immune to slipping whenever you're dealing with ice. So I also have these crappy belts, but whatever. As you can see, most of my gear is speed. This person does have perception. You don't need to do the perception so much. It's handy to have some on your character, and fire mages do come with a fire spell that increases their perception, but you can actually summon elementals that have high perception, like the fire elemental, for if you exactly need it. So that's all I got to say about that. So let me go ahead and finish these guys. I should mention that ice is good for heals. I probably could have finished him off with ice. Oh, I didn't even see that guy. So yeah, here's the Lore Master 5, showing that he is weak-ish towards Tenebrium. So he does have 40 water resistance. Just looking at their hit points to see who should punch. You guys punch him. And I mean, in reality, the only reason that you get, you know, some of these water abilities is just for water immune things. You can do most of the damage with just fire and ice, or fire and lightning. But you do get the heals. Mass slow can be nice sometimes, but you'll end up using rain and heals more than anything. Yeah, Hailstone is just like a weaker meteor strike. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to tell us.